It was at that point that I realized my daughter was missing. Hi, it's me, DIVOS, your favorite piece of walking, talking. Is this my camera? Yeah, can we be in and out of here pretty quick today? Yeah, this has been one of the worst weeks of my life. As I was saying, my name is DIVOS. I am your favorite piece of walking, talking, visual art, and I come at you today with a special edition episode of the hit podcast Twink Twank Twunk. In a state of disbelief, in a state of trauma, in a state of distrust, but most importantly, in a state of honesty, I would like to share with you today. The story of how my daughter, Praline, was kidnapped. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this. I'm so sorry.
DIVOS, just start from the beginning.
Start from the beginning. Okay. So as you know, most families are begun. I went shopping on Amazon, and my debut party in West Hollywood B-Siders, which is every other Friday at 8:30 p.m. is when the party starts. It's an album release party where we listen to albums from top to bottom. And in order to elevate your album listening experience, we incorporate drag performances from some of the best talent that we have in West Hollywood. It's hosted by one of my personal favorite drag queens. She's really kind of setting the standard for what it means to be a queer artist in West Hollywood at the time. Time being now. She's beautiful. She turns looks. She stunts pretty. She's the girl born in New York City. I'm, of course, talking about myself. So I got a little bit distracted there, but I met Praline on Amazon.com. I ordered her in order to represent Drag Race Equestrian, one of the hit franchises of RuPaul's Drag Race. She was one of the top 3 in that season. She, of course, lost to Hickey Hickey Go Nowhere. But she was a top 3 contender in Drag Race Equestrian, and I wanted to have someone at my first B-Siders party with a lot of prestige, a lot of talent in drag. So I met Praline through Amazon, and she was excited to be a part of my party. I was, of course, excited to have Drag Race talent at my stage for my first ever event. So when we got the clearance from Drag Race Equestrian to have her at B-Siders, we were all excited. It was a really exciting time for all of us, and I think that it was the beginning of something special. I had no idea that it was going to start a familial bond, but when she arrived at my door that day, obviously she only travels first class, so she came in, I would say, like at least 4-ply cardboard, all sides completely sealed in. She had imported air from the islands of Fiji that had been put inside the box with her so that she could travel comfortably. And she arrived to my front door. We hit it off right away. We collaborated brilliantly at the first party, our Chapel Roan B-Siders, which I'll pop some photos up. It was an amazing night, but that was the first B-Siders party, and Praline and I went our separate ways. We established that familial bond. I obviously, let her erupt out of my vaginal canal, and so having done that, I let her go out into the world. I let her experience life. We had 2 more B-Siders parties after that. We welcomed the legendary Granny Smith for our B-Siders brat party, and then, of course, we had Polka Face from Drag Race Casino for our Lady Gaga Fame Monster party, but something was missing. And the thing that was missing was Praline. Once you work with a talent like Praline, there's always that little wonder of if you could continue to collaborate, what would happen? What magic would you be able to make? And when we decided to do Renaissance for our our senior B-Siders event, I knew that this was something that Praline wouldn't want to miss. It was actually her fellow Drag Race Equestrian star, Stella Horse, who also was top 3, who was in the Beyonce album cover for Renaissance. She was the metallic horse. That was one of her finale looks that Beyonce was so inspired by that she ended up using it for her album cover. And I knew that Praline would want to carry on the the legacy of her fellow Drag Race equestrian star. So I invited her. I said, Praline, I know, listen, you tore up my labia when you came into this world, and I would never, never want to stop you from going out there and fulfilling dream after dream, eating carrot after carrot. But I said, if you have time, we would love to have you for B-Siders Renaissance. Praline responded within 43 seconds. And, I remember because I was, pulling the page, and it takes me 47 seconds, and I had not even had time to finish before Praline got back into my Instagram DMs and told me that, DIVOS, like, I'm there. And that was magic. That was magic. So Praline actually showed up. She wanted to match with me because she's always been that girl. She's a girl's girl. She is someone that is always there for you. She's someone that always wants to make you better as she becomes better herself, if that makes sense. So she asked what I was wearing. I told her, obviously, I was making a custom outfit for myself, and I was using these disco tiles. And so she showed up to my front door that day with disco tiles on her face, ready to party. And I was just so proud. My daughter, sometimes, as you age in the drag community, you wonder if you're inspiring anyone anymore. And Praline she let me know that Mama still got it. She let me know that Mama still got it. It was the day of the party. And we were just excited to be there. So we get ready for the event together. We are pre-gaming. You cannot keep Praline away from ketamine. And so, it was a wild pregame. We barely made it to the event, but we showed up to the party. She was the star. As always, I'll put some photos up. And some fans of hers from, I'm going to fabricate some of the facts here. I don't want to put anyone on blast, but you know who you are. Some fans of hers showed up in a large group, and let me tell you, it was 9 to 13 Caucasian women in their late 20s. And if you're familiar with drag, there is no more threatening of a demographic than that. And we had our eyes on them, but Praline's a party girl. At the end of the day, Praline is a girl who is there to party, and she got along with these girls. She said, "I don't care that statistically you are going to hate crime me at a rate so much more aggressively than anyone else in the country. Like, I'm going to turn the party for you." And she did. She did. She had such a great time with them. And I just remember, the night got a little blurry. Obviously, I don't, partake in drugs, drinking, alcohol, water consumption. I don't eat carbs after 7 p.m. Like, I am stone cold sober. But, obviously, I live in California, so I still smoke marijuana. And I was zooted out of my fucking mind. I could barely walk. And the party happened. It was a huge hit. And, we start doing our clubbing. We clean everything up. And Praline is still having fun with these women. And, I'm not one to hold a horse down, I'm not going to stop Praline from having her fun. So I went out on my own. I said, Praline, I'll be back. And the night continued. We had a great time. I went where I went. I did what I did. Sorry, this is getting a little hard for me. Because you never think it's going to happen to you. Oh my God. I got home from the club, 3:15 in the morning, and I felt unwell. Considering the fact that I had drinking no alcohol because, drag queens don't do that kind of thing. Something was wrong, and I could tell that something was wrong, but I tried to go to sleep, and I woke up at 4:30, and that feeling when you preheat the oven, 275 for some cookies, and you're sitting on the sofa, and you're like, holy shit, half of the country wants Donald Trump to be the president of the United States. It was that feeling. And I was scared. If I'm being completely honest, I was scared. And then it hit me. Where the fuck was my daughter? Where was my daughter? So I got out my phone and I texted my good Judy Steven, another part of the legendary House of Amore, and I said, Steven, the DJ that goes on right after me at the Bayou after B-Siders, an amazing event that happens every other Friday in West Hollywood at 8 p.m. on Fridays. It's the perfect kickoff to your weekend. We have $6 shots that are themed to the albums. I mean, this is an unbelievable party that you don't want to miss. I said, Steven, did you see Praline? Like, where is she? And Steven said, oh no, I didn't see her. Like, let me ask the other people that were at the club that night. And he asked around and no one. Someone even said the words, oh, she's gone. I didn't know what to do, but I did know that the only power that I had in that moment was in my words. And my words told me to make history. So I started typing out a message that I knew would incite my community, a message that I knew my community would rally behind, a message that I knew would bring my daughter back to me. I typed that message and then I got another 7 to 9 hours of sleep because I needed to be rested. When I woke up at 1:30 p.m., I started a war. I messaged every drag artist with a lick of talent in the community, and if you didn't get one of those messages, interpret as you will. And I told them, could you share this to your story? Because I had posted a galvanizing Instagram post, complete with an image of the suspects. Yes, these Caucasian women. Complete with images of Praline and I's relationship that I knew would inspire the people in a sentimental way. In a way where they knew that this was love, because, I mean, I was there when Praline rhinestoned her horn. I was there when she installed those disco tiles over FaceTime. Don't take my baby. Don't take my baby. The social media campaign began. And everyone saw it. Everyone saw it. I mean, I'm talking like fives and fives of people started sharing that post. And I was sad. I was sad because I put no less than 50 hours into every party that I do at B-Siders. I don't ask for much. I don't need crazy tips. I don't need you to laugh at all of my jokes. But I do expect you at the bare minimum to not steal the belongings that I curate for your enjoyment. And she was gone. And she was gone. And that's when I remembered. I had one of those whores Instagrams. So I broke out my phone and I said, hey girl. And let me tell you, I was going to kill this bitch with kindness. I wasn't going to let her know how pressed I was. I wasn't going to let her know any of those things. I said, girl, I didn't happen to get, my daughter safely back home last night. And, Praline's a diabetic. I didn't know. I didn't even know if these people knew how to take care of her. So I said, I don't know where my daughter is. Do you happen to know? And I waited. My friends continued to reshare story after story. Thank you. You know who you are. Thank you for resharing. It's a moment. Have we gotten my shoes? I just want to make sure that everyone knows that I'm wearing matching shoes for the outfit. Okay. I just want to make sure everyone knows that this meant a lot to me. And as I curate this video full of parody and absurdity, I hope that you know that as a through line, we were able to find those bitches. In all of fucking Los Angeles, I got a message from someone I had never met that saw the story with a picture of my daughter at a sporting event being used as a mascot As if queer people already are not put into a box to be laughed at, to be ridiculed. This team had, well, they'd been using Praline. They had stolen her, and they'd been using her as a mascot. I then checked my phone. I was eating ramen, taking time away from social media. So I thought, I need some space. So I took 17 minutes, and I got a message that said, and it was from the woman that stole Praline. The Caucasian woman that stole Praline. The Caucasian woman in her mid to late 20s that had stolen my daughter, Praline. And it said, I'm so sorry. We have her. And she's safe. And they sent it this image of her in a bed. And they said, we will deliver her back to the club tonight. People don't get second chances like that. People don't get that second chance, but I did. Cameraman, you can go ahead and zoom out now. But we did. I guess the moral of the story is to never give up on yourself. To never give up on those that you love. To fight for community, because community is all that we have. And at the end of the day, no matter how stupid you act and how silly you are or how campy you can be, I told my community, I said, in order for me to make you die laughing with my jokes and, lose your breath at my beauty, you can take my ones, you can steal my jokes, but don't take my Praline. And we found her. And scene. Did y'all know I could do that kind of long form improv, baby? In all seriousness, though, that is the story that happened. Like, Praline was stolen. The community rallied behind me, and we found her. And the serious part of that is, like, I worked so hard on my drag. Like, it's all that that's who I'm dating, DIVOS. I put everything into my drag and curating these events for you all, and it did, like, it stung that people just came into that space that I had made, had so much fun, and then took something that was making the space fun for everyone. But, I genuinely really appreciate everyone reaching out and helping me find her. Like, it felt kind of crazy that LA could rally behind this silly, crazy bit that I have and knew that it mattered to me, even if it was silly, and, like, wanted to help. Like, it truly was very special. And so thank you to everyone that shared. This was also kind of a little promo for my B-Siders parties, which is something I haven't been able to highlight on these podcasts because we have done a little bit of pre-recording. Our next party will be early Katy Perry, which will happen on the 27th at 8:30 p.m. It's been going so well. It's crazy to me that I get to have a party in West Hollywood like this. And so thank you to everyone that has supported the party so far and that continues to support me. I also am starring as Winifred in a show down in the OC in Costa Mesa at the Strut nightclub put on by the Mimosa Girls. It is Beetlejuice and Hocus Pocus. I have been working on 2 numbers for a month and a half now. The production is crazy. I have like 5 to 6 backup dancers, full visuals, a whole stage, lighting. It's like pretty major. So I'll put the tickets for that as well on screen. I've never had such opportunity to produce drag like this, and I am really proud of it. So if you want to check that out. But otherwise, thank you so much for continuing to support the podcast. I hope this was a fun little, one-off episode. We only have 4 more episodes left in the season, a few with Zach and 1 more special guest. And then season 1 of Twink Twank Twunk has wrapped up. If you want to check out the Patreon, we have been revamping the sticker system a little bit. So thank you for bearing with us. But you do get stickers of the outfits that are worn in the podcast sent to your door. And to all our Patreons, thank you for your support. we have a special package for you coming very soon. I'm happy I got the chance to share this story and talk with you all. This was like actually a crazy instance for me, from being genuinely sad about something in drag, which is something I don't know I've ever felt before, to having the whole community and all of Los Angeles rally behind me, and to kind of getting the symbol of all the silly effort that I put in. You know, I sewed on this fringe, I did the stones, I did the tiles. I spent 5 hours probably on Praline. And the fact that, you know, those 5 hours are respected, even though I'm just a little gay boy in a wig. So I will cherish Praline forever, and I'll keep a much more watchful eye on her now. But thank you so much for watching Twink Twank Twunk. My twink of the week is, of course, Praline.
Yes.
My twank of the week is stealing, especially from drag artists who are getting paid close to nothing to entertain you while being extremely uncomfortable and presenting a level of glamour that you likely could never achieve. Of course, I'm only talking to thieves when I say that. And then my twunk of the week is the absolute willpower of a queer person. Queer willpower is my twunk of the week, because baby, that shit is serious and it will get something done. The bit of the week is Praline, and my educate the straight is do not steal from queer drag performers. Thank you so much for watching Twink Twank Twunk. Make sure you check out our Instagram and TikTok for all of the highlights. They're also on YouTube in the short section if you just want to be on here. Make sure you're subscribed, share the podcast with a friend. And I know I look amazing, but if you want to leave me a comment, I would not be opposed. Well, we're reunited, and I will see you all next week with a brand new episode.